Recently, I started recording audio separately from my video. It takes a little longer to set up, but I really like the flexibility it gives me. I also enjoy the workflow of syncing video and audio in post. For me, the only disadvantage of recording audio separately is having to sync the video and audio in post. The actual process isn't a big deal. I edit in Final Cut and it easily syncs video and audio. All you need to do is pick the matching video and audio files. And there's the problem: figuring out which video file goes with which audio file. If you only have a few files, that isn't a problem. But if you have dozens or hundreds of files, figuring out which audio file goes with which video file can be a real pain. In this video, I'm going to go over the ways I make syncing these files easier. As a one-man operation, recording audio and video separately gives me more options to capture audio. Prior to using a separate audio recorder, I would connect a microphone to the camera mic input. This was fine and easy, but it limited the microphones I could use and didn't allow me to easily monitor the audio levels. Using a separate audio recorder has allowed me to use multiple microphones and place the audio recorder closer to me so I have a better view of the audio meters. A little preparation prior to shooting can prevent a lot of headaches when you go to synchronize your footage. For the rest of this video, I'm going to show you the ways I make syncing video and audio easier in post. They aren't the only ways or necessarily the best ways, but they are the ways I make it easier to synchronize my video and audio. One of the best ways of starting a video is to use a film slate. This is how professional film sets start all scenes and identify specific takes. If you don't have a film slate, you can announce the scene and take and then clap once or twice prior to starting the scene. Good takes can easily be identified during shoots, which prevents you from having to manually go over all the footage. If you need to manually check the files, you only need to check the beginning of a file to verify the scene and take number. It isn't a perfect system. You have to remember to slate every scene correctly. If you miss slating or you lose count, you are back to manually checking files. Even if you don't forget to slate, you still have to check the beginning of each file and match the files up. If you are a run and gun shooter, you may not be able to use a slate or get some claps in prior to shoots. Also, if you shoot weddings or corporate events, using a slate or clapping may be disruptive and not be allowed. Truth be told, I don't own a film slate, but I have been known to start a scene with my clapping. That didn't sound right. A less disruptive way to synchronize video and audio is to set all of your cameras and recorders' clocks to the correct or at least the same time. It is actually a good idea to set all your clocks prior to every shoot anyway. Having the clocks correct on all your equipment makes it much easier to organize all files. It allows you to match up audio and video files using the file timestamps. It also has the added benefit of making it easy to find individual shots by the time of day or the order they were shot. Most cameras and recorders can be set to the closest second. If any of your device clocks can't be set closer than a minute, use them as the master clock and set all your other devices to that device's time. It's not a perfect system. If you have multiple short takes within a minute of each other, this may result in multiple files with the same timestamp, meaning you might have to review a few files. If you manually start and stop recording on your devices at slightly different times, the timestamps could be off by a minute or two. Finally, you have to remember to set everything. Several times I have forgotten to set time on my equipment prior to shooting. Some devices were off due to daylight savings time or just through normal drift. A third way to synchronize files is to create custom file names for each device. Most equipment allows you to create custom file names, and it automatically increments these as you record new scenes. For both my Sony and Panasonic cameras, I have a minimum of 3 characters available to use to customize the file names. For my audio recorder, I can enter up to 20 characters. Customizing file names is a little more time-consuming and does require you to set it up prior to shooting, but it doesn't rely on timestamps or external triggers to work. One nice advantage of using a date format in your file names is that you can easily find footage if the links to those files get deleted somehow while editing. As with film slates, clapping, and synchronized clocks, creating custom file names also has some disadvantages. You can't shoot B-roll or voiceovers mixed in with your regular shooting. If you do, the custom file names won't line up. You also need to remember to set or reset your devices at the beginning of the shoot. If you use this method, make sure you create file names that are unique so you don't have multiple files with the same name on your computer. Starting out with a date or some other unique string will help you keep all these files organized. The last method I use for keeping files synchronized is timecode. If you don't know, timecode is a type of video metadata that provides a reference signal that can be used to synchronize video and audio. It's probably the best way to synchronize files in post. It's also a great way to precisely locate individual parts of a video down to the individual frame. The format of timecode is hour, minute, second, and frame. Timecode is driven by the frame rate of the video recording, and setting it properly is critical to making it work. While not all gear supports timecode natively, all modern editing software support timecode. If you have equipment that does not support timecode, there are external timecode devices that you can use to encode timecode into the files. Even smartphones have support for timecode through apps that access their native cameras and embed timecode in the file. I have recently started using timecode, and after the slight learning curve, timecode is now my favorite way to synchronize video and audio. In a future video, I'm planning on running through my setup and showing you how I get timecode synced between my camera and my audio recorder. I'm also planning to make a video showing how to set up an external timecode generator. As you can see, there are a lot of ways to better organize your video and audio files. Recording them separately is a little more complicated than just hooking up a microphone to your camera. If you've gotten this far in the video, thanks for watching. I hope this video has given you a few ideas on how to make syncing video and audio easier, and I hope it encourages you to record video and audio separately. It really does give you a lot more options when recording your audio. Thanks, and see you in the next video.